Champions League football is back. What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well. I can see a lot of you in the chat already. Let's see. Bianca, what's up? How are you? Hope you're doing well. The Champions League is finally back. We're only less than 2 hours remaining till the first games kick off. Silva, what's up? Greetings from Mexico. Thank you for being here. FPL Penguin, thank you for being here as always. I really appreciate it. Ray says, what's up? And a long time no see. Hope you remember me. Definitely, Ray. I rarely forget people who've been tuning in since last season, especially. So I appreciate you being here again. Hope you're ready for the new season. It's going to be a good one. I think this is going to be one of the best Champions League seasons, obviously because of some of the transfers, Lewandowski moving to a different team, Haaland moving to a different team. There are so many options this season we can get in the Champions League. From strikers to midfielders, and everyone's teams is probably going to be looking different from every other team. Last season, for example, everyone had Lewandowski, everyone had Salah, probably most of the people had Mane, Trent Alexander-Arnold, those guys. But this season, I feel like it's going to be different. There's other options to choose from this campaign. So as always, if you have any questions, send them in the comment section. We will be live until the deadline hits. So I have made a couple of changes, but first, if in case you haven't joined the league yet, the code is scrolling down the bottom, and the direct link is in the description as well, in case you want to join the league. I think there's like almost 300 and something of you. Let's try and get to 500 by the end, by at least the end of the week, let's say. So let's take a look at how my team is looking like. Probably this is not going to be the final team. I'm still waiting for the Chelsea team news and the Dortmund team news to see what changes I am going to make. So this is how my team is looking like at the moment. For goalkeepers, I've gone for 2 cheap goalkeepers, 4.5. I'm also thinking of Mendy. Let's see if he's going to play, but because of all that's budget, like very, very minimal budget, I'm not going to spend that much on goalkeepers. A lot of people have asked me why I don't have Courtois or Neuer, all those guys. I have decided to go for the 2 cheap goalkeepers, 4.5. So Salzburg goalkeeper Con against AC Milan, and then Adan against Frankfurt tomorrow. I'm not expecting sure clean sheets in those games at all, but hopefully saves and all that kind of matches. In defense, I have Hakimi. I've tried to take out Hakimi, for Nuno Mendes, but I think Hakimi, there's a reason Hakimi is more expensive. He can take free kicks, he can take corner kicks sometimes as well. So I am going to keep him for now. I know Juventus could be a hard fixture, but I would expect PSG to win that match. In terms of the other defenders, Cancelo is also there. I actually included Cancelo in terms of must-own players in one of the videos. And then the new player that has arrived in my team is Jules Kounde. I've noticed that this season, in the last game, he picked up 2 assists. There's a game where Jules Kounde picked up 2 assists in one game, and I think it was actually against Sevilla, his former team. Jules Kounde got 2 assists the other day, and since he's playing against Victoria Pilsen, I've decided to include him in the team because I don't have enough cash to have Barcelona forwards. I am still thinking about Lewandowski. I've also put the question in the chat. Let me know if you're going to definitely own Lewandowski. I'm thinking about it, but I just don't know who to remove as of now. So I've brought in Jules Kounde to at least get the clean sheet if Barcelona get the clean sheet. In terms of the other defenders, I have Nuno Tavares on the bench and Measure of Club Brugge. I don't think many people will have Measure, but he's actually owned by only 1%, and he starts every game for Club Brugge at wing back. So I think it's a very good option. I did that research by myself. I was like, I need to get a 4 million defender. And I went to take a look at all these teams, Leverkusen, Club Brugge, Copenhagen. And I did some research. I literally went to watch highlights of Club Brugge to see which players play in defense. And I realized there are 2 defenders in that team that play as fullbacks and centre backs, and are only 4 million. So I decided to include one of them. And then in midfield, I have Bergwijn against Rangers. He's going to play farther forward as well, and he always starts game for Ajax. He's their new signing from Tottenham, so I have him there. And Florentino is still in my team from Benfica, best 4.5 million option for me. And also Kvaratskhelia. I like how people say his name. They're like that Napoli guy because his name is so hard to pronounce. So Kvaratskhelia is there for now against Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool will keep clean sheets in that game at all. I know there's a couple of Liverpool fans in the chat, but they will tell you this season they considered 2 goals against Man United. They considered 2 goals against Fulham. They actually considered 2 goals against Newcastle, but one of the goals was disallowed, one of the Isaac's goals. So I've not liked the Van Dijk and Gomez partnership at the back. I think Matip has returned for them, so it could be good for the Liverpool defense. But Gomez and Van Dijk has never worked. I think the Liverpool fans will agree. Let me know, Calvin. Van Dijk and Gomez, it never works in defense for you guys. And then I've brought in Kunku. I was like, no, he has to be in my team. I saw there's a game where he played literally as a striker and he's included as a midfielder. I have to have Kunku there. And I've had to take out Luis Diaz for Kunku. Now, I have a bad feeling Luis Diaz could still score against Napoli. I was really tempted to keep him, but Nkunku at home to Shakhtar, the fixture, I've decided to go for the home team. So Nkunku is there. And then I've brought in Royce. I can see someone asking for Dortmund option. I've brought in Royce because he plays as a number 10, or at least in the last game he played as a number 10. And the likes of Bellingham play right behind him. And I think it's Brandt as well. I have gone for Royce. It's only going to cost you 7.5 million, the same price as Kulusevski, so it was between one of them, but I don't want to miss that fixture at home to Copenhagen from Royce. So the other midfield on the bench, Kvaratskhelia, and then up front, Haaland, Neymar, and Benzema. I am still thinking, should I get Lewandowski in? If I do get Lewandowski, I can take out Neymar because Neymar is more is cheaper, and I don't have any money remaining in the bank. So I'll have to take out Haaland or Benzema, or take out Neymar and then have to probably go for Nuno Mendes instead of Hakimi or Cancelo. Drop Cancelo and bring in a 5 million defender. So basically, if I want Lewandowski, I'll have to remove Haaland or Benzema or switch my team by 3-4 players, which is not ideal at the moment for me. So let me see what you guys are saying. Probably will be a lot of changes for maybe 2 changes. Let's see. How are you, Martin? Hope you're doing well. Bianca says it's still a good option. You can go for him. You can go for him. It's a good fixture. Penguin says, I think City will win 3-0 tonight. Sevilla have been terrible. Yeah, I watched that game against Almeria and Barcelona, and they lost both games. They didn't look good at all. In La Liga, Osasuna 2, Sevilla 1, Real Madrid 1, yeah, and then they lost to Almeria and Barcelona, 17th on the table. I think City will run a riot in that game, actually. Ray says Neymar, Benzema, Van as the strikers, Jorginho, Nkunku, Vinicius, Florentino, and Kvaratskhelia as the midfielders. Cancelo, Militao, Otamendi, Nuno, Tavares, and Trent as the defenders, and then Adan and Con. So are you missing anyone else? I'm glad you have Benzema. You don't have any City options apart from Cancelo. I am predicting City to score 3 goals in that game. I've just seen Penguins saying City will score 3 goals. So, Ray, are you comfortable with going without any City midfielders and striker Haaland maybe? Or I think Gundogan will do well as well. I think Foden will probably start. I think he'll do well in Matchday 1. It's a bit, they're all expensive. You'll have to really sacrifice the team, but I really think Man City will score a lot of goals in that game, whether it's away or home. Even when they play Dortmund at home, I think City are capable of getting 3 or 4. And especially when they play Copenhagen in Matchday 3 or 4, you'll have to have like 3 of their players. Otamendi, I do like that pick. He basically picks up so many recovery points, Otamendi, from last season. You've gone for the same exact goalkeepers as mine, and obviously Tavares and Kvaratskhelia. So maybe get a City player if you want to. If you're planning for Limitless in Matchday 2, go for Lewandowski. It's a free hit this Matchday. Well, I think playing the Limitless chip in Matchday 2 is a bit too early. I'd leave it for later. I'd have a plan where the team that I pick right now can help me in Matchday 1 and also Matchday 2. Maybe because you're allowed 2 changes. Maybe if you're going for Lewandowski this week, maybe next week, because Champions League this season is like after every 1 week. It's not like after every 2 weeks because of the World Cup. So we don't have a lot of time to plan. So if you just want Lewandowski for 1 week, then bring in probably Haaland next week or something like that. That's fine. But I think Limitless chip in Matchday 2 is a bit too early because the fixtures don't get easier for Lewandowski anyway. They still have like Bayern and all those guys having to face all those guys, so it's very, very hard. But I see what you're saying. Let me see which team Lewandowski is playing in Matchday 3. Let me check. It's obviously between Inter. I think it's Bayern, right? That's very hard. So I don't think it's advisable to play the Limitless chip in Matchday 2. Let's check the fixtures here. Matchday 2. Maybe you can target Tottenham player, maybe one. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, I'd not really be looking at that fixture that much. Liverpool, maybe you can go for Salah against Ajax at home. Chelsea, maybe. Real Madrid, maybe. City. I mean, there is a case, but I think there's a different week where you can get a better players for the Limitless chip. So anyway, it just depends on your team, especially the wildcard, as I said yesterday on the chip video. You have to basically follow your own team. You might get 3 injuries today and you'll need to play a wildcard. It's different from every other team. That's my team, still unsure. I'm waiting for the Chelsea team news as well to see which defender start and all that. Bianco says also is Ferran Torres valid for this week as he's predicted to start tomorrow. I saw that, but I've also seen Xavi saying Ansu Fati is now back and ready to start matches, and I think it's a massive risk because they have Lewandowski, Dembele, Rafinha. I think Rafinha and Lewandowski will definitely start. So it's up to Torres, Dembele, and Ansu Fati who's going to start there. And I think it's a massive risk to go for Ferran Torres. It's basically 30% for him to start. 30% out of 100. If they were playing today, I'd be happy to take the risk knowing I have a bench for tomorrow. But since they are playing on Wednesday, I think it's a bit of a risk, especially if it doesn't start and then comes on for 5 minutes. You wouldn't want that. So for me, I would avoid Ferran Torres. I'm also looking for a Barcelona player. That's why I've just decided to go for Jules Koundé, at least to get that clean sheet if they do keep it. I've noticed something with Victoria Pilsen. Yes, it's the Champions League is different, but they concede very few goals in their league. I think they like the last 2-3 games they are keeping clean sheet after clean sheet, Victoria Pilsen, and you would expect them to park the bus. So I would not be surprised if that game ended 1-0 to Barcelona, and I'm hoping Lewandowski blanks if I don't have him. 1-1 draw for Liverpool. Napoli have always been tough for us in past meetings. Yep, and they beat, I watched their game beating Lazio the other day 2-1 away from home as well. Lazio, I think I've already beaten, is it Inter Milan or AC Milan this season at home? They are looking good as well. Cancelo will assist. Cancelo is a player, man. That guy is great. I saw someone saying Cancelo's given so much space against the likes of Bournemouth and those teams. But no, last season in the Champions League, he scored 2 goals and had like 4 assists. So he's capable of still scoring in the Champions League. Thank you, Bianco. I really appreciate it. Thanks for 1,000, by the way. I prefer Real Madrid versus Celtic. Hala Madrid, says Ray. I know Celtic is a tough team. I know they beat Rangers by 4 goals the other day. I know they've scored more than 20 goals in like 5 games. I think Jota is a good option, the midfielder from Celtic, but I don't think that Real Madrid will fail to score. I can see Madrid getting at least 2 goals in that game. I'm going for a bold move. I'm getting Jota from Celtic. Oh, you actually talked about Jota in the very next comment. Very good. I think it's great. I think Celtic will score in that game. That is why I've not gone for any Real Madrid defenders. So I am going to go for I think I said Celtic 1, Real Madrid 3. So Jota is a great option. He's been great. I think I actually have Jota stats here somewhere. That was before the last match week. Can I get it here? Yeah, I actually have Jota stats from a couple of weeks ago. 5 matches, 412 minutes, 3 goals, 4 assists. And that was before he played against Rangers. I think he also added maybe a goal and assist in that game. Those are very good stats for someone who's going to cost you around 6 million only. So Jota is a great option. Go for it. Go for it, man. Go for it. I think he's great, Bianco. Let me remove that from screen. Let's see. Jorginho Musiala says, Nick, I would go for Jorginho because of the fixture. I don't think Inter Milan away is easy for Musiala. I had him in my team, but I just took him as recently as 2 hours ago and brought in Royce because I feel like that fixture is hard. And then something I don't like about my Musiala this season, I saw there's a game he played only 24 minutes. There's another game he played only 45 minutes. I'm not a fan of that. I want my players to play at least 60 minutes. I don't want him to come on for 30 minutes or something or get subbed off in the 55th minute. I don't like that. And Jorginho, we get to see Chelsea's team news in the next few minutes. So we will get to know if he starts, and he is on penalties. And I think Dinamo Zagreb and Salzburg are good fixtures to begin with. How are you, Arnel? As always, appreciate you being here. Who is the best captain from the day 2 games for Matchday 1 and possibly future besides Lewandowski and Salah? I think Lewandowski is the best. Let me check tomorrow's games. Ajax Rangers, I did say differential, you can go for Badvine. Now, I have thought about that captaincy thing because I was like, if I go for Benzema today and he doesn't score, who's the best option for tomorrow? Apart from Lewandowski, because I don't have him, it's very hard. Probably Salah or any other Barcelona player. Or if you have Tottenham players, probably Kulusevski, Kane or Son. I can't see any other team. And for having a differential captain, like, you can really go for differential captain if the team is playing on Tuesday, knowing like if these fixtures were opposite, if the fixtures that are playing tomorrow were played today, and if the fixtures that were played today were being played tomorrow, you would have gone for someone like a Badvine, or you'd have tried someone like Amane against Inter Milan, or even Luis Diaz against Napoli, or even Rafinha against Pilsen, Kulusevski against Marseille, knowing that if they blank, you have a lot of options for the next day. Maybe if you had Neymar, Mbappe, or Haaland, but the problem is these fixtures on Tuesday, and all my strikers, for example, Real Madrid, Man City, PSG, they're all playing on Tuesday. So if my captain doesn't get it correct today, it's going to be either Lewandowski or a player from Liverpool, and I don't have any of the strikers. So to answer that question, I would say an Ajax player, and they'll probably Bergwijn or something, because I think they'll score a few goals against Rangers. I don't see any other good option at all for that day. Let's see. Will Bernardo Silva start today? Says Biswas. I'm thinking they will go for Haaland, Foden, Mahrez, and I think they will go for Gundogan. I think Bernardo Silva will definitely start. I think he always starts, but there is some doubt. There is some doubt. The safest pick is Haaland, probably De Bruyne. I think Gundogan will start. So Bernardo Silva, not 100% sure for the Champions League, especially this first game, unless they decide not to go with Mahrez, because Mahrez hasn't been on form. But I think Bernardo Silva is a risk because he has played a lot of minutes. There is Alvarez as well. These days, he might give them a chance. So I think actually Gundogan has the better chance to start than Bernardo Silva. So it is a risk. It is a risk to go for Bernardo Silva. For me, I would go for the other options from Man City. De Bruyne is expensive, but he's better. I think Foden will start. Let's see. I have Haaland in FPL and he's giving me good points. Yep. I got him straight when you signed. I got him into my team. The problem is that I didn't captain him when he got both hat-tricks, which was very, very painful when Liverpool scored 9 goals and Salah didn't get a goal. Crazy. What about Kvaratskhelia? Is really cheap. He has great stats in Serie A. I already have Kvaratskhelia. He's on my bench for tomorrow. He will probably come on. Very, very good stats. I agree. He also added another goal the other day. I have his stats here. He's the top scorer as of now, and he actually added a goal against Lazio. So I think he has 4 goals. And I don't know if there are any of the other players have added any goals, but yes, he was the top scorer. Very, very good this season. Very good purchase for them, Napoli. Let's see. What do you predict? Celtic Madrid, says Julian. 3-1 to Madrid. Nick says thoughts on Haaland, Lewandowski, and Benzema as a front three. I saw some people saying it's too expensive. You need to balance it out. Maybe go for Broby from Ajax and drop one of these guys. But I think all of those 3 players will score. I can see Lewandowski scoring, Haaland scoring, Benzema scoring. So go for it. Go for it. I don't have any problem with that at all. My problem is all my players are playing in the first day. So my captain choice is only one. I also have that problem. Let me just check this. Let's see. Coming back to your coverage, let me see how many players I have playing on tomorrow. So I have Adan, Kvaratskhelia, Tavares, Major, Kunde, and Bergwijn playing tomorrow. So only 6 players playing tomorrow. So you can argue that you need at least 7 players from the next year, at least a better captaincy choice. But I have already decided that Bergwijn will be my captain choice if any of my players don't deliver today or my captain doesn't deliver today. Bianca says, what do you think about James? Let's wait and see the team news. If he starts, he's obviously a great option. He's almost like a midfielder, basically. He's like a winger. He gets forward so much, goals, assists. The Chelsea team news is about to come out, so let's wait and see if he starts. He's had a couple of injury problems recently. Ray, I was also saying the only one player I can captain on second day is Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think they'll concede in that game, Ray. There is a big chance. I predicted, I think, 2-2. Napoli 2, Liverpool 2. So I wouldn't go for Trent as captain. Which other players do you have playing tomorrow, Ray, in terms of midfielders or forward players? Arnold says, I'm on the same boat as you. Really hard to plan for future with no obvious captain besides Lewandowski in those days. And I don't like Barcelona games in the future. Yep, very, very tough games coming up. Let me just check here. So they're starting with Pilsen and then Bayern Munich away from home. And then Inter. I really don't like those fixtures at all. I really do not like those fixtures, especially defensively. Kunde will only be in my team probably for match day 1 and he'll be out for the next match day. He's only there because I really need a few Barcelona Barcelona points today, and I really can't afford Lewandowski. Will Guerrero start? I think he will. I'd say. Well, let's wait for the team news from Chelsea and Dortmund. Should we consider Bellingham? I had Bellingham in my team. I think that's a very good fixture. So if you want Bellingham, go for him. Either him or Royce. Or I saw Hazard has been predicted to start the game. Thorgan Hazard is 6.5 million, but I think it's a risk. I think Royce and Bellingham are better from there. So Yeah, Bellingham he is a good option for at least one match day. But after that, they're going away to Man City. I don't expect him to score at all. So the changes I'm thinking about making, probably getting a Chelsea defender in. Let's see the team news. Oh, the other player I actually think is going to do very well, but most of us cannot afford him, is Sterling from Chelsea. I think Sterling will score goals for Chelsea, both in the Premier League or Champions League. I believe in the next couple of weeks, for everyone who plays FPL, I think people will start talking about Sterling, because he's just scoring every single week, if you're noticing. And in the Champions League, I think he also has a big chance of scoring, especially if he starts. The problem is he is very expensive. Let's just check Chelsea. Let's see who starts. Sterling is 9.5 million, a 9.5 midfielder. So if you have him in your team, he can deliver. Mount has really disappointed this season. If someone like a Pulisic starts against Dinamo Zagreb, I don't think it's going to be easy. I've gone for Chelsea to win that game by 2-1. So I think maybe one of their defenders. If you have Mendy, good enough. Nick says lineups are out. Thank you. Let me just check Twitter right now. The good thing with Champions League that the lineups come out very early. Ray says I have Trent, Nuno, Adan, Kvaratskhelia, and the players playing tomorrow. I have the players playing tomorrow. Trent, Nuno, Adan, Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, that is very, very tough, man. Very, very tough. I have Bergwijn as a captain option for tomorrow. So from that list, then you can't go for Trent Alexander from that list. I would agree. If those are the only players you have tomorrow, then probably Trent is the best option from there, hoping he gets an assist or recovery points or something. The good thing with Champions League is not all about clean sheets. Players can get you recovery points and all that. So someone says the team news are out. I can't see Chelsea. Chelsea's team is not out yet. Let's see Dortmund's team, BVB. See, I hope Royce is starting. See, BVB have not yet released their lineups yet. Not yet. The lineups are not out yet, man. Those are the two teams I'm looking at first. Those big teams that you're waiting for, Dortmund and Chelsea. The other player I'm thinking of is Lewandowski as well. So make sure to vote in the comment section. Let me know how many of you are going for Lewandowski. I've seen some of you are going for Werner instead of Nkunku at Leipzig. I've seen some of you have gone for Joao Mario from Benfica as well because he's on penalties. Some of you have talked about Theo Hernandez at AC Milan because of penalties. This is going to be a very interesting season because you can't know who's going to play at all. It's very difficult, and a lot of teams will be different. Nick says, do you think Modric will perform? I think he will, but I wouldn't go for him. I prefer Benzema and Vinicius from Real Madrid. So I wouldn't really go for Modric because I feel like the other good midfielders like a Bergwijn or Nkunku, and Modric kind of takes away a lot of budget from that midfield. Anel says that punt on Kvaratskhelia, captain in that team. Trent and Poole have been terrible in the Premier League. Yeah, you can also take a punt, but the problem with taking a punt on Wednesdays, if they fail, that's it, man. It's good to take a punt on the Tuesday fixtures. So as I said, if those fixtures were rotated, it would be better. Princesi says Alaba has 1 goal and 2 assists. He scored a brilliant free kick. I think it was against, can't remember the team, but I think he scored a brilliant free kick a few weeks ago in 4 matches. Madrid has a really easy group. What about him? I have not gone for any Real Madrid defender for now. I think they'll concede against Celtic. But as I said, he has the potential of scoring or assisting. I would consider him for Matchday 2. But if you really do want a Real Madrid defender, you can't go for him. Definitely a good option still. Biswas says Nuno Mendes or Ramos. I would go for Nuno Mendes because of the attacking threat on the left side. And Ramos, these days, he can get injured anytime. So that's the problem. I know he's very good in terms of recovery points, but I'd still go for Nuno Mendes. I think he's already assisted a couple of times this season. So that would be my option. Let me check the exact price for both. I know Nuno Mendes is like 5 million. Let's see, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. What the hell is Paris Saint-Germain? Paris. There it is. So Nuno Mendes is 5 million. Yes, Ramos is 5 million. The exact same. I would still go for Nuno Mendes though. That would be my option. I love wing backs. I do love wing. Listen, Ramos can still score anytime. Obviously, love scoring goals. Let's see. Thoughts on Sergio Gomez from City? There's a Sergio Gomez at City. Really? He hasn't played though, right? Since I don't know him, don't go for him. I literally do not know him. That is because he's never played, right? Let's see. Sergio Gomez. Really? Let's see, Sergio Gomez. Is that Sergio Gomez really? There is no Sergio. There is a Sergio Gomez defender, 4 million. He probably won't start, man. I've never even heard of him, He's 4 million. He will not start in the Champions League. Let me tell you something about Guardiola in the Champions League. I've seen other people saying Haaland could be rested. Absolutely no chance. The Champions League is the one trophy that they want to win. They are not going to go for a lot of differentials, especially not in match day one. Cancelo will definitely start. Haaland will definitely start. De Bruyne will definitely start. What will happen with his team, actually, he might rest those players in the Premier League just for them to play in the Champions League, but not the opposite. They want to win the Champions League, so they'll not risk it in match day one. So Sergio Gomez, he will definitely not play in the City team at all. I have captain Benzema for the first day. I believe he'll score 2 goals, so I don't have change my captain. Hopefully, though. Lineups out. I can't see it in the. I'm waiting for the official Twitter handles for the teams to post them. As a Madrid fan, I'd not go for Alaba. Yes, he scored, but you don't know if Rudiger will start instead. Yep, with Militao there. It's a risk. It's just like last season with Donnarumma and also Navas, the goalkeepers at PSG. You just never knew who was going to start. Will Nathan Ake be a starter in match day one? I don't think so. I think he'll start with Cancelo, Walker, Diaz, and they signed the defender from Dortmund as well. I don't think he'll start in match day one. No. Nick says my team is Courtois, Ronaldo, Guerrero, Cancelo, Tavares, Modric, Nkunku, Musiala, Lewandowski, Benzema, Haaland. I actually do like that team. I like the forward line. I like Nkunku, Courtois, Ronaldo, Cancelo. I don't know. Musiala. The one thing I said about Musiala, I can give you the exact minutes that he's played this season, because I saw there's a time he played only 20-something minutes. When he plays, he scores, but there's no guarantee that he's even going to play more than 60 minutes in a game. That's why I took him out of my team and brought in a player from Dortmund. I would be thinking about dropping Musiala for Royce or Bellingham for at least match day one. So Musiala, in the last game, he played 62 minutes against Union Berlin. The previous game against Cologne, I think that was a cup game. He played 27 minutes. Against Mönchengladbach, he played only 23 minutes. Against Wolfsburg, he played 83 minutes. And the first 2 games, he played 90 minutes and 83. But from there, he's only played 60 minutes the most. So I don't like players who get subbed off early. And I do not like players who come on for 20 minutes. I do not like it at all. Let's see. Pep has talked about breaking in Sergio Gomez in the land. That's why I'm asking. I don't think it will happen in the Champions League, though. Maybe in the Premier League or in the cup competitions, not the Champions League. No, not in the match day one. Definitely not in match day one. Might start because Laporte, Walker, and Stones are injured. Backline can be Gomez, Ake, Diaz, and Cancelo. Walker will start. If that's the case, it's going to be Ake, Diaz, Cancelo, and Walker. And they signed a defender called Akanji from Dortmund. He might also start. So I don't think Gomez will start. He might come on, but starting, no. Guardiola will not take a risk in terms of second team in this one. Nuno Mendes or Kunde. Match day one, Kunde. If you want just for match day one, probably Kunde. Bianco says Mendy's benched. I need to check that Twitter again, man. My plan is use the limitless in match day 2 and wildcard in match day 3. It's like it is too aggressive, but I finished in top 2K last season. If you remember, I would say it's a solid plan. Did you go for the same plan last season? Did you actually do the same thing last season? Good luck predicting Pep, because Akanji can play for either Ake or Gomez. Yep, I think he might start. I don't think the likes of Gomez will start. Milo says, what time is the deadline? In the next 1 hour and 15 minutes. Is this your final team? Absolutely not. Fantasy says Walker is injured. That's why I asked about Ake. Fantasy is always sometimes, it takes too much time to update their site and their website, sorry. So they might try to Walker is injured and then he plays. Like last season, I remember, I don't know if it was Haaland or something, they had him injured for such a long time and he's already playing. I can remove Vinicius and get in Modric and remove Timo Werner and get in Lewandowski for second day captain. Wait, we remove Modric and remove Timo Werner and get Lewandowski. Remove Vinicius. You already have Benzema, right? Let me check. If you already have Benzema, go for it. Thoughts on Emil Forsberg? Olmo is injured. How are you, Ian? I did look at Forsberg because I know he takes some penalties sometimes. I did look at him. I did consider him. He plays very well. Every time I watched him playing for his country, Sweden, he plays very well, and for Leipzig as well. But again, even for him, I think his minutes have been very limited this season. But since you say almost injured, it could be a choice, and it's very cheap. But before, when the last time I checked about him was like 5 days ago, and he was not getting a lot of minutes, and that really worried me. But if you feel like almost injured and you really understand Leipzig that much, and you feel like Forsberg is going to start, you can go for him. But I still prefer Nkunku and those guys from Leipzig. Term test says Jorginho or the Napoli 5.5 million guy. I told you, people never write his name. They always call him the 5.5 million guy. Don't worry, Tempest, you're not the only one who cannot spell his name. I had to learn it for a full day before I did the video on him. Kvaratskhelia is his name. I would go for man, that's the hard one. I would go Kvaratskhelia, man. I would go for him. I think that group is great. I think they'll score in every single game. In that group, I'm expecting a lot of 3-2s, 2-2s. I'm not expecting a lot of clinches at all. Jorginho has not been great this season, so we're really depending on penalties. Chelsea have not been great this season, and Jorginho, I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans complaining about him. Why is he starting? And he also made a mistake against West Ham the other day. I think it was that goal that was wrongly disallowed. He gave away the ball. He might start, but you're really depending on penalties. Musiala replacement, Bellingham or Royce. Ray says, I have Benzema. Great. Not removing Karim, the dream. Yep, absolutely not. You have to keep him. There's a couple of people who've risked going without him now. The Chelsea team news is now out 23 seconds ago. They might have leaked it elsewhere, but I was waiting for the official one to come out. So Kepa starts in goal. Wow. So yeah, Bianco, you had seen it earlier. Thank you. So Mendy's out. Mendy's not starting. Let me just type in the team news. Chelsea starting lineup. Chelsea lineup. So Kepa is starting. Kepa. They also have Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta is starting next to Fofana. How much is Fofana in Champions League fantasy? I wouldn't go for him though. Koulibaly. He hasn't been great this season. A couple of mistakes. James. I think James playing as a right wing back has been great at centre back. There's a couple of times where James has played as a central defender because Loftus-Cheek has been playing on the right for them. They do have Mount, Kovacic. Let me write Chilwell first. So I did expect Chilwell to start for Cucurella because Chilwell came on the other day and scored and assisted. So I did expect him to start. Mount. Also Kovacic. So right away, I think Chilwell is a good option because of just how far he gets forward, just like James. Havertz, Aubameyang is back. Oh, wow. I thought he was out for a couple of weeks. Oh, he's already starting. Sterling. Chelsea finally have a striker. The Chelsea striker who was an Arsenal tattoo. Who would have thought? Kepa, Azpilicueta, Fofana, Koulibaly, James, Chilwell, Mount, Kovacic, Havertz, Sterling, and Aubameyang is the Chelsea team. So let me just put that on screen for now. So let's look for Dortmund's lineup. So that is Chelsea's team. Let me know who you're considering putting in. Cucurella is on the bench. Chukwuemeka, Gallagher. Jorginho is actually on the bench. So I'm happy that I gave you Kvaratskhelia as the answer. So Jorginho is not starting. So if you have Jorginho in your team, remove him as quickly as possible. Jorginho is not starting. I told you he's not been playing well. I knew he was going to be dropped because he made a mistake against West Ham. So who's going to be taking the penalties? Aubameyang? Probably Aubameyang. Both of them have been missing a lot of penalties, Sterling and Aubameyang. So Havertz, the last couple of penalties he's taken is scored. So probably Aubameyang for them. So he's not playing Jorginho, so you remove him from your team. I think that makes it easier for you guys in terms of getting Kvaratskhelia. Let's look for the Dortmund team. And also maybe if you need the Dinamo Zagreb team as well, but I don't think many of you have any Dinamo Zagreb players at all. Let me look at let me see. Is Mooney a starter? He is. I did some research on him, and I think he's going to get forward so many times. Let me see. Yeah, he's actually starting. I gave you that answer before I checked the team, but he always starts. So they do have Sola, Munier, Bellingham, Brandt, Modeste, Guerrero, Royce, Hazard, Oscan, and Schollerbach and Meyer. Okay, so that is Dortmund's team. I'll also type it in the chat. So give me a couple of seconds as I type in Dortmund's team in the chat as well. In the description or something. Dortmund. So Royce is starting and Thorgan Hazard is starting. So Thorgan Hazard is very cheap. If you want someone for 1 week, he could be a good option. So now I have the option of taking out Royce and bringing in Bellingham or or Hazard and then taking out Neymar for Lewandowski. But again, I have to think about it for a couple of minutes before I decide that. I really think PSG are going to score 3 goals against Juventus. I seriously think they're going to win that game. And I think they're going to score both him and Mbappe. So I don't know, man. Let's see. Man, I'm not going to spell this entire name. Shola, oh my God. Shola Tabak. Oh, wow. That's a long name. Never even heard of him, to be honest. Hazard is starting. Royce is starting. The captain. Brandt is starting. Expected that. Guerrero is starting. Expected that as well. Guerrero. And then they also have Bellingham and Modeste. Modeste is one who plays as a striker, right? Bellingham, Modeste. So who are you going for from Dortmund? I think Dortmund will win against Copenhagen. I think this is the best trick to have any of their players. Modeste. Brandt plays a bit deeper, so Mounier he plays farther forward, like as a wing back, right back. It pushes forward a lot. So if you want to go for a Dortmund defender, go for Mounier. I think that is a full team from Dortmund as well. So scrolling down the bottom, let's see. So let's remove this. Great. So let's see what you guys are saying about this team. Would you bring in Kepa instead of Con? Nope, I wouldn't, because he might play today and then next game he doesn't play. Kepa is not a sure starter, so I wouldn't go for him. No, I would go for the defenders. Chilwell is in my team. He has been better than James in basically no minutes. If Chile stays fit, he's awesome to have, says Arnold. Jorginho to Kovacic, here we go. Ray, I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure about that one at all. Let's see. Best Ian says best 6.5 million midfielder. Tonali. I watched Tonali the other day when I was watching the derby. It was AC Milan, Inter Milan. Very, very good game. But apart from him, I think there's better options. There's even cheaper options, 5.5 million. I would really consider 5.5 million player seriously. I think there's better options in 4.5, 5.5, and 7.5. 6.5, I really have not considered any in that price at all, 6.5. But if you're thinking of someone, I think Hazard is that price. Let me check. Dortmund. Let me see. Thorgan Hazard. Yes, Thorgan Hazard is 6.5 million. So if you want a 1 week punch, you can go for Thorgan Hazard. Any other options at 6.5? Who is the best? Let me remove this. I wouldn't go for Kroos. I wouldn't go for Fabinho. Brozovic, no. Kimmich, very tough fixture for Kimmich there, so I wouldn't say that. Joao Mario is on penalties for Benfica, so you can go for him. Kondogbia, definitely not. Llorente, I do not like Atletico Madrid as an attacking team at all. Gravenberch, Bayern, very tough side they're facing. So really, I'd say Thorgan Hazard only 100% just for a punt today. Or you can go cheaper for 5.5 million and improve any other different position. Nick says thoughts on Gravenberch. Very, very good option when he was at Ajax. I really loved him and Anthony and Haller last season. But right now, very tough fixture. Away to Inter Milan is not easy. So nope, not for Matchday 1. Any good replacement for Jorginho Kvaratskhelia from Napoli in case you don't have him already? Nick says, why Bergwijn? Because he has already scored 5 goals this season. He scored a hat-trick in one of the games. He always starts for them, and he basically can start as a striker as well, very further forward. So that is why I've gone for Bergwijn, and he's only 7 million. So that is why I've gone for him. And it's Ajax. Ajax always score goals, and I think they'll score 3 or 4 against Rangers. If you want more reasons, Rangers have just conceded 4 goals against Celtic, and I think they'll concede at least 3 against Ajax. That is why I've gone for Bergwijn right there. Vinicius to Valverde or Modric? Vinicius to... That's a tough one, man. Valverde probably because it's cheaper, but... I'm not sure about Valverde as well. I think the last time I watched the Madrid game the other day, I think they started with Tchouaméni, if I'm saying his name right, and also I've forgotten his name again. They didn't start with him in midfield. Let me just check Real Madrid again. I know their squad, but I'm just trying to remember the name. Camavinga. Yeah, Camavinga started in midfield with Tchouaméni the other day. I think they were playing against Betis or something. I think he started in that game. I wouldn't go for Valverde, and Modric is a bit expensive. To be honest, I'd really only consider maybe the goalkeeper from Real Madrid or one of the defenders or Benzema or Vinicius. I wouldn't go for anyone else at all. I wouldn't consider anyone else from Real Madrid because I also don't think Celtic away is easy. Right now, I have Chilwell and James and have 0.5 left in the bank, thinking of getting Theo Hernandez and removing Chilwell. I think Chelsea against Dinamo Zagreb is easier than Salzburg against AC Milan. I think Salzburg will score a goal against AC Milan, and Chelsea might keep a clean sheet against Dinamo Zagreb. So I would keep Chilwell. I've given 6.5 million on lower. Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. That is my option. Any 6 million of 6.5 million player for Jorginho replacements. Those are the ones I've given you. Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. He's the top scorer in Serie A, so he's a very good option. I have 6 million home to take in place for Jorginho. You already have Kvaratskhelia. Interesting. Can you upgrade to someone like a Thorgan Hazard as a differential? Can you get Thorgan Hazard? Do you have any 0.5 million remaining? Brendan says Royce a good shout. Yep, he plays as a number 10. And I think I don't know who takes the penalties. From last season, I know you're taking penalties. From what I saw this season, I'm not sure if they've gotten any penalties yet, but I think Royce is a great option. 5.5 million midfielder, Kvaratskhelia for sure. You guys are making me say his name a lot. You're making me say his name a lot, and it's a very, very tough name. Thoughts on Basse? Let me see his fixtures. Basse. I saw a couple of people have him in their team already because it's 4 million. He has Liverpool next away from home, and then Napoli twice. To be honest, I wouldn't really go for their defenders. I think Rangers will score, but if you want a 4 million defender, you can go for him. I've seen a couple of teams having him in their side, or a couple of managers have him, so you can go for him. Messias, let me just check Messias. See, this is Milan. 5.5 million midfield. I wouldn't go for him. I think there are other better options at AC Milan. The forward players like Leao, and those are the guys. Theo Hernandez at the back. I think those are better options. I wouldn't go for any AC Milan midfielder at all. Should see. That guy is playing Liverpool, though. Don't want to bet against them, as I am a Liverpool fan, says Ian. I mean, we have to take our team hats away when we are playing fantasy. Yes, you think he's going to keep a clean sheet Liverpool because it's Liverpool and Matip could return and all that. But I think it's better to just I think Liverpool will concede 2 goals in that game. Yeah, and I think you won't lose. You'll draw 2-2, but I think Napoli will score. I mean, you've watched your Liverpool this season. Not been great. Fulham conceded twice, could have been 3 or 4. Newcastle could have been 2 goals. I mean, if Isaac's goal was allowed. Against Man United, 2 goals conceded. Only Bournemouth was a good game for Liverpool this season, so I wouldn't go for him at all. Against Everton, they struggled to score as well, so I would go for Kvaratskhelia. I think they will score 2 goals in that game. I'm thinking a draw. I can switch Lewandowski to Mola and then take Thorgan Hazard. No, if you already had Lewandowski in your team, just keep him. For us that don't have Lewandowski, let's try and think about getting him in. But if you already have him in your team, keep him. I've seen he's already scored braces twice this season, like 2 goals, then 2 goals. He's going to score goals. I think he's the safest option from Barcelona. Ricardo says Royce and Kunku, they will face City and Real in game week 2. You'll hold both or use free transfers to change. And I would use free transfers to change in match week 2. Lewandowski, Royce, or Nkunku. When it gets to match day 2, I think those ones will be subbed off for other better options, maybe even a Foden from City or something like that, or a team that has a home game. So would you hold both in free? I would transfer them out, Ricardo. Royce or Bagvine? Bagvine, Brendan. Thoughts on Group A? Group A is the one that has. Let me search Group A here. I think I have written down. It's the Liverpool group, right? Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, Rangers. I think there'll be a lot of goals in that group. I've said a lot of games will be 3-2, 2-3. Like for the first match day, I'm going to go for Napoli 2, Liverpool 2, Ajax 3, Rangers 1. And even when Ajax go to Liverpool, I can see a 3-2 Liverpool win. So I'm going to go for a lot of goals. In terms of which team is going to go through, I am going to say Liverpool and Ajax, and then I can see Napoli going to the Europa League, and then I can see Rangers going home. Sorry to any Rangers fans watching this, but Liverpool will still go through, though. They'll get their stuff together. Let's see. Lewandowski or Haaland, says Lucy. Lewandowski. It's crazy, right? I have Haaland and I'm giving you Lewandowski as an answer, but that is because I'm not looking at only one match day. It depends. If you feel like you're only looking at match day 1 and you want Lewandowski for one match day, it's fine. But for me, Haaland, I'm looking at match day 1 to 6. He's going to be in my team throughout the Champions League group stage. Lewandowski is basically like a 1 week punt. He always obviously can score against Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. It's Lewandowski can score against any team. As Muller says, it's Lewandowski. He can score against any team. But I think Haaland will probably score more in the group stage. I think after the group stage, Haaland and Benzema will have more goals than everyone else. So that is why I've gone for them in my team. I remember last season when you told me to keep emotions aside during Fantasy League, best advice I've gotten. Yep, I'm happy that the team that I support, unfortunately, is a team that has never gotten into the Champions League for years. Me being an Arsenal fan, being in the Champions League fantasy, I have no connection with any team. So if Arsenal were there, I would have been talking about Saka, Jesus, but now I don't have to do that. I am very unbiased. I can go for any team because my team is not in the Champions League. We'll be back next season, though. Is Højbjerg a good option to replace Jorginho? Because I already have Kvaratskhelia. I mean, first of all, if you're ready to pick up a guaranteed yellow card, he's definitely going to pick up a yellow card. Højbjerg. He does score and assist a few times. You can't go for him. You know what? I don't think he's a bad option because he scored against Chelsea and he also scored in the last match day. I think he's a good punch. You can go for him. I think he gets forward a couple of times and can score goals. So you can't go for him because he's not a bad option at all. And if you want someone from Tottenham, you can't go for him. He's scored a couple of goals this season. Best Barcelona midfielder. I've been doing this research since morning. I've been looking at Pedri, looking at how many minutes he's playing. I've been looking at Frankie de Jong. I've realized Frankie de Jong is like coming on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't like that at all. Obviously, you don't want Busquets. So basically, no one from Barcelona as a midfielder and the central midfielders. But if you want the likes of the wingers, I think Rafinha is great, but he's very expensive. And Dembele is not guaranteed to start, but I would go for Rafinha because he plays as a wing and I think he will start in the Champions League. But in terms of if you're asking me if I would go for Barcelona midfielder, I wouldn't. I've tried to look at it. I've tried to look at Dembele. I've tried to look at Pedri. Is he going to start? I've tried to look at Rafinha as well, and I've come to the conclusion that I can't really include any of them because they are all risks, even though I think they'll win tomorrow. I think Lewandowski is the best guy or maybe one of the defenders. Abubakar says Diaz or Mane. I would go for Diaz. Cheaper, and also I think he will still score against Napoli even though I've taken him out of my team. Ray says then I have to switch Jorginho to Kovacic. No other option I see, or I can switch Jorginho to Rodri from City or Joao Mario from Benfica. Joao Mario 100%. He's on penalties, and Benfica have Maccabi Haifa in the first game, so that would be my option. Definitely not Kovacic. Definitely not Kovacic. No, I know I can say that and then he scores, but no, not Kovacic. Go for Joao Mario from Benfica. I think they have a very good fixture. Klopp really has to drop Trent and play Arthur. Really? I don't think that will happen. Not in match day 1. Arthur will play in midfield though. So Trent will not be dropped at all at right back. Nick says Jorginho Kvaratskhelia. Jorginho is not even starting, so forget about him. He's not in the Chelsea lineup. Is Mbappe, Benzema, and Kane a good striking force? Says Lucy. Yep, you have Benzema. I think everyone should have him. Mbappe is great. If you want, you could go for Neymar, who's cheaper than him, and he takes better penalties than Mbappe, and he has scored and assisted more than Mbappe and Messi this season. I think Kane, not many people will have him, but I can definitely see him scoring against Marseille. So not bad at all. Let me know if you have anyone else, if you have anyone from Barcelona. Haaland versus Benzema for match day 1. I think Haaland will score more goals in match day 1. Summit, how are you? I'm doing good, mate. Hope you're doing well. Any PSG or Atletico Madrid midfielders, I've tried to look at them as well. I do not like any Atletico Madrid midfielder. I don't like them as an attacking team. Atletico Madrid has never really been a team to score 2-3 goals. They always score 1-0, and I don't like that at all. They are a better defensive team. If you want Ronaldo or Black or something like that, you could go for them. But midfielders, definitely not. PSG, I've tried to look at them as well. No one. Verratti will play, but you won't really get those attacking returns you want. So no, I have tried to look at it. I've tried to decide whether I'm going to take out Neymar, bring in Lewandowski, and go for a PSG midfielder. But I don't think the likes of Verratti will score that many goals. Actually, Hakimi as a defender and Nuno Mendes as a defender, they will do more in terms of attacking than the midfielders at PSG. So that is what is going to happen. The defenders are better, the wing backs from PSG. Any other midfielders from PSG? Let me see something here. Why is it not? See. So midfielders from PSG. I wouldn't go for anyone though. I'm just looking at if there's anyone who's owned by a lot of people from there. Sarabia, how many people own Sarabia? 0%. Verratti, 6 million. 6% on him. Renato Sanchez, I know he has already scored this season, but no. Danilo, no. He can't get you recovery points, but no, I wouldn't go for any midfielders from PSG or Atletico Madrid. Bianco says, which changes will you be doing before the deadline? The ones I'm thinking about are probably bring in a Chelsea defender. Chilwell probably, or bring in Lewandowski. Those are the only two players who might come to my team. I've decided not to have Salah. I've decided not to have Luis Diaz. So it's either Lewandowski or Chilwell or both of them to come into my side. I'm still thinking about it. Those are the changes I'm thinking about, Bianco. So now it comes to captaincy, Neymar, Benzema for first day. Emotions say Benzema, recent stat says Neymar. I think both of them will score, but I will still go for Benzema, the safer option. For those people who don't have Benzema in their team, the thing is, if you don't have Benzema in your team and people captain him today and he scores 2 goals or something and gets 26, 28 points and you don't have him in your team at all, and then Lewandowski doesn't score tomorrow, you're in a big trouble. That's the thing with the Lewandowski, with Benzema. I think you need to have him in your team. Let me see. I'll keep on saying Kvaratskhelia. I'm tempted. Kvaratskhelia is the best option from Napoli. There's not too many in that price range at all. Abubakar says, what can you say about Nunes? I think since he's not been playing in the Premier League because of the suspension, he can start. He will start, but the problem is the price, and there's so many other strikers. But if you're a Liverpool fan and you feel like he can help you and you feel like you need to go for a Liverpool player, you can't go for him for me. But for me, I've not considered him. Like after these 3 strikers that I have right now, I'm thinking about Lewandowski. Like Nunes is not in the top 5 of the strikers I'm thinking about. In my opinion, Dejic better than Nuno Tavares, says G. I think Tavares, since he plays as a wing back, and that Marseille group is really nice, and he's already scored goals this season. That's the thing. For Tavares, Ray says, remember City versus Atletico, where Atletico played with 11 defenders. I remember that game very well. I remember the second leg, especially, where it was basically chaos when they were bullying Foden and those guys pulling Grealish hair and all that. Best 4.5 midfielder, Florentino. The one that I have, Florentino from Benfica against Maccabi Haifa, is the one. He always plays for them, so that's the one. Frantesi says, rate my team, please. Joe Hart, Blind, Monier, James, Emerson, Royce. Which Emerson is this? Emerson, Royce, Bergwijn, Vinicius, Haaland, Neymar, Lewandowski, Grabic, Kvaratskhelia, Ronaldo, and Bernardo Silva. So you don't have Benzema. I've noticed that right away, but you do have Vinicius. Bergwijn, I do like Royce. You've gone for Mooney and James. I think that's great. Blind from Ajax. I think Ajax will concede a goal. I'm not very sure about Blind. I had Hart in my team in the first week that the Champions League came out, but I took him out because I think Madrid will score a bunch of goals in that game. So you're really hoping that Hart makes a lot of saves. So you have City covered. I would say 8 out of 10. I think you need Benzema in your team. I think Benzema is going to score. Literally, I would rather take out Neymar from that team, include Benzema if you really want Lewandowski in your side. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. I'll always be here live every single match day. And this season it's different. As I said, last season it was Champions League as always after every 2 weeks. This season, since there's a World Cup, there's Champions League basically every single week, apart from the international break later on this month. And I'll always be coming live as well after the match day. So tomorrow, after the games end, we will be coming live to react to the match day 1. And also today, if you have any questions about making subs on your team or changing your captain, you can just comment on this particular video. Afterwards, I'll answer it before tomorrow. Who do you think will be the best in my team? I would go for Erling Haaland. I think he'll score 2 goals against Sevilla. or goal assist. I think he'll do well. Is Vinicius better than Kunku? He gets a return a game. I think I would go for Nkunku because he's at home against Shakhtar, and I think they will beat Shakhtar by like 2-3 goals. But Vinicius, if you already have Benzema, you can just go for Benzema alone for match day 1. But from match day 2, it's good advice to go for both Vinicius and Benzema if you want. Ray says, Glenn, shall I remove Militao for Chilwell for this week or keep him and hope Celtic don't score? If it starts, I would go for Chilwell. I think it's a better fixture. How good is Dinamo Zagreb? Will they score against Chelsea? Well, they're top of the table. Chelsea's group, Dinamo Zagreb is top of the table. Salzburg is top of the table. AC Milan is top of the table. Chelsea is the only team in that group that is not top of the table. So, but again, it's the Croatian league. It's very different from the Champions League. All these teams do well in their leagues, but then they come to the Champions League and lose by 5-0. I don't think it's easy to go to Russia or Croatia or these countries in Champions League. I think Chelsea will win 2-1. So I do think Dinamo Zagreb will score if that helps, Ray. But if Chilwell can get you attacking returns, so I would go for Chilwell. But Militao from match week 2. Shimeni or Fabinho or Bentancur, which one may bring more points? Bentancur is at home against Marseille. Fabinho is away. Shimeni is away. I would go for Fabinho because of the recovery points. I would go for Fabinho for recovery points. Very important. Benzema, Lewandowski, says Adi. This is a very tough question. For match day 1, Lewandowski. For match day 1 and all through to match day 6, Benzema. I don't have Lewandowski. I have Benzema. I still trust in Benzema. I am going to go for Benzema. I'll not be surprised if Benzema still scores more than Lewandowski this week. I know many people are disrespecting Pilsen, but I'd not be surprised if that game ends 1-0 to Barcelona. Good luck, Glenn. Make it final decision. Thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate you watching. In case you haven't liked the video, by the way, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Summit says opinions on my team. Kepa and Garbage. First of all, I'd take out Kepa because we don't know if it's only going to be one match day. But let me see the rest of your team. Theo Hernandez, I love. Chilwell or Tamendi. I wouldn't go for 2 Chelsea defenders. So Kepa and Chilwell, I would change Kepa. Are people going for Kepa because it's cheap? How much is Kepa? Let me just check Chelsea. I wouldn't go for Chelsea goalkeeper at all. 4.5 million. No, I think you can get better 4.5 million players, really. Is it risky not having Haaland? I think it is. It's Haaland. I think it is. I think he literally scored at least 8 goals in the group stage. That guy is dangerous. That guy is not a joke, man. Like, I couldn't believe people were saying if he comes to the Premier League, he will not score. Absolutely not. That guy can score 3 goals every single game. Sevilla have been terrible. Sevilla are like in the bottom 4 in the league, and they've been conceding goals. They just lost 3-0 to Barcelona at home. Haaland, yes, it is a risk. Unless you have like 2-3 midfielders from Man City, I still don't think that's enough. I think Haaland is I think he's even owned more than Benzema, if I'm not wrong, right? Haaland is 48%, Benzema is 44%. Yeah, Haaland is the most owned striker right now. Crazy. For the next match day, shall I switch Lewandowski to Haaland? Yes. I don't need Benzema because you have no idea how Celtic home atmosphere is. So Lewandowski says Summit. I do know. I watched Celtic thumping Rangers the other day 4-0. I know they score a lot of goals, but that is for attackers. I think it's the Japanese guy. I think it's Japanese, right? I've forgotten his name. And Jota as well. Real Madrid will win that game, Summit. Real Madrid cannot fail to score in that game, believe me. What do you think about having Lewandowski this match day? Then in match day 1, switch to Haaland. Let me show you guys my predictions in case you didn't see my other video. Let me go to the predictions tab. Let me see. Predictions, gaming. Let me show you guys my predictions. Maybe it can help you guys make the decision. I have gone for Madrid to score a couple of goals. Predictor. Hope you guys play the prediction game, by the way, in Champions. To make a group for that, to play the prediction game, but I felt like it was too much. So let me do this. So these are my predictions match day 1, all of them. So I have gone for Dortmund to beat Copenhagen by 3-1. I have gone for Chelsea to win that game by 2-1 against Dinamo Zagreb. I have gone for Benfica to beat Maccabi Haifa 3-0. I have gone for PSG to beat Juventus 3-1. And I've gone for a two-time booster because I think that is the one that is going to be a correct score. I have gone for Man City to beat Sevilla. This from screen so you can see better. I've also gone for Leipzig to beat Shakhtar 2-1. Celtic 1, Real Madrid 3, Salzburg 1, AC Milan 2, and then tomorrow Frankfurt 2, Sporting 2, Ajax 3, Rangers 1, Tottenham 2, Marseille 1, Inter Milan 1, Bayern Munich 1, Barcelona 3, Pilsen 1. So I have predicted Barcelona to score 3 goals, funny enough, right? I really need Lewandowski. I'm really talking myself to going for Lewandowski because I'm predicting Barcelona to score 3 goals. Surely Lewandowski will score 2 goals in that game. Club Brugge 2, Leverkusen 2. I've gone for Atletico Madrid 1, FC Porto 1, Napoli 2, Liverpool 2. So those are my predictions for match day 1. That is what I have gone for match day 1. If that helps you make a decision for your team, let me know. Let me go back to the fantasy. Let me see more questions. Where did I leave it at? Let me see. Opinions on my team. I didn't finish talking about your team, Summit, right? Chilo, Otamendi, Rafael Guerrero, Cancelo, Kunku, Jorginho. Jorginho is not playing, Summit, so take him out. Go for Kvaratskhelia from Napoli instead of Jorginho. Forwards, Rafael, Leao, Haaland, and Lewandowski. So you've gone without Benzema. I will talk to you later on, Summit. I will talk to you later on after Benzema plays tonight. Is it risky not having Haaland? I think it definitely is. Let's see. Frankfurt are definitely being overlooked. Honestly, would not be surprised if they're top of the group. I don't like Tottenham, but I think Tottenham will win that group. They have a great manager and have been doing great in their last 2 games with the new managers. Yeah, I think watching them for the first couple of weeks really scared me a lot. I think when they were thumped, they were thumped by Bayern Munich by 6 goals, and also thumped by Real Madrid in the Super Cup. That's why I didn't go for Frankfurt players. But yeah, I watched their game. They beat Leipzig by 4-0, right? Yeah. So Frankfurt is not a bad team. You can go for them. I think you can go for them for sure. I watched their game against Leipzig and they thumped Leipzig by 4 goals. Yeah, I have now, Summit. I have. You wanted me to rate it. So I would get Benzema. I'd give this team 8 out of 10 because there's no Benzema. And then I would take out Jorginho and I would take out Kepa. So I'm actually going to give it a 7, Summit. I don't think Kepa is a good haul for all 6 match days. So probably take out Kepa for another 4.5 million, defender or goalkeeper. And then Jorginho is not playing, take him out. And then if you can find a way to get in Benzema instead of Leao, I would go for that option. I have now finished the reviewing your team, Summit. Let's see. Ian says, please rate my team. Ter Stegen, Koundé, Chilwell, Ronaldo, Otamendi, Royce and Kunku, Bergwijn, Leao, Lewandowski, Benzema. I know Leao is like 8.5 or 9 million. Vlachodimos, Unranged, Kvaratskhelia, Joao Mario. I actually do like that team. Especially that midfield of Royce and Kunku, Bergwijn, and Kvaratskhelia. You have the same exact midfield apart from Joao Mario, same exact as mine. So I do like that team. But then again, 2 Barcelona defenders, Ter Stegen and Koundé. You never know. It only takes a set piece or something like a penalty for Victoria Pilsen to score in that game. And the Champions League is the Champions League. Don't be surprised if Victoria Pilsen scores. I wouldn't go for both Koundé and Ter Stegen. I'd probably change... maybe I would change the goalkeeper because I don't think if he keeps a clean sheet, he won't make that many saves. So I would change Ter Stegen to a different goalkeeper. Who do you recommend to replace Jorginho? 6 million available, says Marcel. If you want 5.5, Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. If you have 6.5 and you want a punt, you can go for Thorgan Hazard from Dortmund because it's playing Copenhagen in a couple of minutes. Royce or Goncalves, I'd go for Royce. Goncalves was very good last season for Sporting, but I still think I would go for Royce. Arturo says, is Nuno Mendes a good option to save money? No, I have Rhys James. It is. I have Hakimi. I was thinking about dropping Hakimi for Nuno Mendes, but there's a reason why Hakimi has gotten more goals and assists more than Nuno Mendes this season. But he is a good option. If you're trying to go for him, go for him. Nuno Mendes is great, especially if you don't have any other defender from PSG. You know, those guys are assisting Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar, so they will get assist points. Robertson, good option. I included him in the differential video because not many people have Robertson. I think he's on by like 4 or 5% right now, and he was rested against Everton in the last match day. But the thing is, I think Napoli will score 2 goals, but Robertson is good in terms of going forward. Seriously, I wouldn't go for him. I wouldn't go for any Liverpool defenders this match. They even have the picture here because I was thinking about him. But if you really want a Liverpool defender, you can go for him because he's also cheaper than Trent. Let's see. Only take it W's. Is Benzema out? No. Benzema is in. He's always in. And he's going to be scoring goals as always. Haaland or Neymar captain. Haaland. Arsenal, unfortunately, man. That is my team, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, though. We are top of the table. Let's see. Is Magdan a good option with these fixtures? Let me see his fixtures. Let me go back to the transfer tab. I'm coming back to that question. I appreciate it, Lucy. Thank you for watching. I'm coming back to that question. Hi. Maya, Testegen, Guerrero, Cancelo, Otamendi, Ronaldo, and Kunde. Just as I said, I wouldn't go for 2 defenders from Barcelona. I'd rather go for Lewandowski and a defender. You already have Lewandowski, so I would change one of the defenders. Florentino, Nkunku, Bergwijn, Marius, Vaisheli. I love that midfield. Haaland, Benzema, and Lewandowski. I love that attack. So I'd maybe be looking to change that goalkeeper to someone else. Can you take out Kunde and bring in a Chelsea defender like Chilwell? Let me know if you can do that. Do you have the money to take out Kunde for Chilwell? I'll be thinking about doing that. Kepa, good option, says Ian. I wouldn't say so, man, because he might not play next week. Darag says, is it Darag or Dara? Opinions on my team: Courtois, Cancelo, Guerrero, Otamendi, Vinicius, captain, interesting, Jota, Nkunku, Joao Mario, Jota from Celtic, right? Not the one from Liverpool. Florentino, and then Vanna, Neymar, Lewandowski on the bench for tomorrow, Grabic, Kunde, and Ronaldo. The goalkeepers, I don't mind the goalkeeper, Courtois, Cancelo. I usually say don't spend more than 10.5 million on your goalkeepers. Like if you don't have like Courtois and then have Mendy as well, I think that's too much. If you have 6 million goalkeeper, you can go for 4 million or 4.5 million. I think the other goalkeeper from Juventus sometimes plays instead of Szczesny. I think it's 4 million, but I wouldn't go for him. Courtois is okay. Defense, Otamendi I do like. Cancelo as well. Kunde, Ronaldo, and Guerrero, I don't mind that. Midfield, I actually don't mind it at all. But I wouldn't go for both Nkunku and Vanna, Darag. I wouldn't go for both of them. I would not go for both players from that team. So if you want to make any change, you can. Probably take out Vanna for someone else. I can see you don't have any attackers from Ajax. I think Ajax will score 3 goals against Rangers. So if you want Broby from Ajax, this cheap striker, you can go for him instead of Vanna. I wouldn't go for both Vanna and Kunku. I've gone for 2-1. You never know. Shakhtar might go there and win 2-0. So the 2-3 players I go from a single, if I go for 2-3 players from a single team, I really trust that team. Man City or Real Madrid or teams like that. But the other teams like Leipzig, Benfica, I wouldn't really go for 2-3 players. Frank says Nkunku, Vinicius, Nkunku, Jota from Celtic. Yes. Which keepers have you gone for? I've gone for cheap goalkeepers because I didn't have money. So these are the ones I've gone for. I've gone for Korn from Salzburg, and I've also gone for Adan from Sporting. Don't have money to go from Kunde to Chilwell. Let me check other defenders who are starting for Chelsea. Fofana is starting, Koulibaly is starting. Let me see Chelsea defenders. So Kunde is 5 million. I mean, if you're feeling brave, you can go for Koulibaly or Koulibaly. Do you want to go for Koulibaly instead of Kunde? Because he's also scored a goal already this season, Koulibaly. So Brendan, if you want a Chelsea defender, you can go for Kunde to Koulibaly, even as Piliquet is starting as well, is only 5 million. You have money for that. But if you don't want a Chelsea defender at all, you might as well go for Koundé. I have gone for Koundé in my team, but I've not gone for the Barcelona goalkeeper as well. Just one defender. Chilwell or Nuno Mendes. Chilwell, we know that he's definitely starting. I know Mendes is starting, but Chilwell, easier fixture. Unknown Shadow. Interesting name. Who to captain? Haaland, Vinicius, Neymar, or Bellingham? Definitely Haaland, the one that you can definitely trust, Erling Haaland. So I've gotten a couple of minutes to take a look at my team now. I've not taken a look at it. I'm thinking about getting Lewandowski. Barcelona midfield is the problem. I really wish they would have been playing right now so that I get to see who is starting. Like, I would really like to know who's starting between Rafinha, Dembele, Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati. If Ansu Fati was a definite starter, he's very cheap. I do like the midfield, though. I have no problem with this midfield. They're probably just Lewandowski. I'm thinking about a Chelsea defender, so let me just check. Chelsea, Koundé, Hakimi, Cancelo, Meja. I don't have any money in the bank, though. That is another big problem, man. Chelsea. Let me check another Chelsea position. Sterling is starting. I think Sterling will score. So the ones who have Sterling in their team, all the best. But the problem is it's too expensive. Even in FPL, it scores like every single week. But the problem is it's very expensive. Aubameyang is starting, man. Crazy, interesting. Kovacic is 6 million, not interested. Mount is 8 million. Very poor form recently. Havertz, 9 million. Havertz, he scored the other day, but I do not like him as a fantasy option. Chelsea defenders, man. I'm really thinking of Chilwell, but bringing in Chilwell will mean I have to take out Jules Koundé. And I really want a Barcelona player in this team. Really, really need a Barcelona player. Man, crazy. Ian says, will Paris keep clean sheet against Juventus? I don't think so. I think Juventus will score. I think it's going to be 3-1. Reece James, Chilwell, or Hakimi? Chilwell. Opinions on my team. Vlaco Dimos, Hakimi, Grimaldo. You've gone for 2 defenders from Benfica. I wouldn't do that. James, Guerrero, Mario. You've gone for a triple up. My goodness, Reece has gone for 3 Benfica players. Wow, interesting. Kunku, Royce, Benzema, Haaland, Werner. As I said, I wouldn't go for both Nkunku and Werner. I'd go for one. Probably will take out Werner. I like Bergwijn as an option. I see you don't have any players from Ajax as well. Ajax have Rangers at home, and I think that group is very balanced. I think any of those teams can go through. I think Liverpool are favorites, but I can see a lot of goals in that group. But I wouldn't go for both Werner and Kunku. And then also, I'm not a fan of Grimaldo and Vlaco in the same team. And Vlaco Dimos is 5 million. I actually think you can save a bit of money there. I think you can go for a 5 million defender, or 4.5 million goalkeeper instead of Vlaco Dimos, and then maybe get that 0.5 million to spend elsewhere. It's very, that's an option. Reece, just let me know if you can do that. Is Modric a good option? Any options? If not, I don't like the only players I like from Madrid for now is for Matchday Benzema, Vinicius, and maybe a couple of the defenders. Not gone for any. Of course, Modric can pull off a crazy assist from somewhere, and obviously can score sometimes a majestic goal from outside the box. But for Matchday 1, I wouldn't go for him. As someone said, Celtic is not easy. So Matchday 1, or from Matchday 2, when they have a couple of home games, then yes, I would think about it. High says Bagnan a good option or too expensive. I think you can get better players. I can see it's 5.5 million. I don't think Salzburg is an easy fixture like that, so I wouldn't go for him. G says Ter Stegen, Grebic, Guerrero, Otamendi, Koundé, Cancelo. A lot of you have gone for 2 Barcelona defenders. My goodness, am I missing out on something? I wouldn't go for 2 Barcelona. I wouldn't go for 2 Benfica defenders or 2 defenders from Barcelona or 2 defenders from Leipzig. I wouldn't do that. G says Sergio Gomez. I'm telling you he starts, says G. I'm going to give you a shout out. I'm going to put you in the description next week. If Sergio Gomez starts this week, I'm going to put you in the description for the next video, G. I'm going to put you there as an honorable member of the channel. If he does start, I'm going to give you a massive shout out. I don't think he starts in the Champions League, especially not Matchday 1. Royce, Nkunku, Florentino, Mario, Götze, Neymar, Haaland, and Lewandowski. I do like the front line. Götze. Götze, interesting. They were the first person I've seen. Götze. Wow. He's playing against Sporting, 6.5 million. Götze is not in my plans at all. 0% owned. Listen, that is a massive differential. That's a massive differential. If he ends up scoring, you're going to have a massive differential there. I've predicted a 2-2 draw in that game. I do have Götze in my Bundesliga fantasy. So I do play a lot of fantasy games. I played the Norwegian Fantasy League. I'm actually like 100th in the world right now. I mean, the prizes are if you win that fantasy in the Norwegian League, you go to Norway. I don't know if I'm going to be going to Norway to watch a game, even if I win it. But I do play the Bundesliga one as well. And in my midfield, I have Kunku, I have Bellingham, I also have Götze, and I have Royce in my midfield in the Bundesliga one. So it's actually not a bad option. Not many people have him in the Champions League one, though. I'm using Limitless next match day. Interesting, man. Sergio Gomez, though, it's the Sergio Gomez that is bothering me. I would go for Tavares instead of Sergio Gomez. A little bird told me that Ferran Torres will start. You can go for him, says Ian. You know what? Something told me last night, Ian. I dreamt that there's someone who scored 2 goals in my dream. Was it? I think it was Mbappe who scored 2 goals in my dream. I was like, I don't have Mbappe, and he scored 2 goals last night. Yes, I don't know why I was dreaming about Mbappe, but he scored 2 goals in my dream. Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati is back, as Xavier suggested, so massive risk here. But some people do know Barcelona more than me. I'm not a specialist on Barcelona, but if he does start, he will still be subbed off. That's the problem. If Torres starts, he's going to play 55, 56 minutes. Dara says Broby or Foden in Fofana and Mario. Broby and Foden for Varane and Joao Mario. I actually prefer the second option there. I do like Joao Mario against Maccabi Haifa, and I do like both home games for Van and Joao Mario. Second option there. Chilwell or Alphonso Davies. Chilwell, easier fixture. Inter Milan away is not easy. Freddie. 2 goalkeepers for 10.5 million. Yeah, like if for me, I've gone for 2 goalkeepers for 9 million, for 9 million, yes, 4.5 and 4.5. Some people have gone for 2 expensive goalkeepers. Like I see some other teams having both Ederson and Alisson. I would not do that. That is too expensive for goalkeepers. So by 10.5 million, I mean, if you're going for Courtois or all those guys at 6 million, you can go for 4.5 million goalkeeper. Don't spend more than 10.5 million on goalkeepers. I've gone for 9 million the most. Who is a good goalkeeper, 5 million or less, as I want to keep Grimaldo in. So you want to keep Grimaldo. Let me see. The other goalkeeper you had said was, so Benfica is playing on Tuesday. So you're looking for a goalkeeper who's going to play on Tuesday. For me, I've gone for the Salzburg goalkeeper against Milan. I've gone for Cohen there. You can also go for, there are some people who are going for Kepa for one match day. If you're feeling brave, you can go for him, but I wouldn't advise that. So probably the Salzburg goalkeeper against AC Milan, or if you want Joe Hart against Real Madrid for today's games. Frank says best cheap midfielder options except from Kvaratskhelia, Florentino of Benfica, 4.5 million, or Joao Mario, Benfica, 6 million, or 6.5 million, Thorgan Hazard, Dortmund, good punt for today. Brendan says goalkeeper, Ter Stegen and Maya. Defenders, Otamendi, Cancelo, Chilwell, Ronaldo, and Guerrero. You've gone for 2 Dortmund defenders. Again, very interesting. I'm pretty sure Dortmund have been conceding goals, right? Every time I watch Dortmund, they concede goals. Every time I check their scorelines, I wouldn't go for Maya, the goalkeeper, or Guerrero. I'd drop one of the defenders from there. Midfield in Kunku, Bergwijn, Mario, Florentino, and Kvaratskhelia. How many players are those from? Wow, you've also gone for 3 Benfica players. Interesting, man. Remember, Benfica, the fixtures get harder after this. I'm pretty sure Benfica play PSG next. Let me check something. Let's see. Benfica play Juventus and then PSG twice. So are you planning to take out both of those out, 2 of those 3 Benfica players? The most I'd go is for 2 players from Benfica. I think 3 is a bit too much because their fixtures get harder. Because remember, this is 13 match days. It's not just one match day. Unless you have plans to play your wildcard and limitless, I would understand. but the fixtures don't even get easy until like Matchday 5 or something. So I would only go for 2 players from that Benfica side. Striking, I do like Haaland, Lewandowski, Benzema. I think all of them will score. No money in the bank. Money in the bank. Seriously reminding me of WWE, right? Money in the bank. Kunku, Bagvine, Mario, Florentino, Kvaratskhelia. Who would I take out? I would keep Florentino. I would keep Joao Mario. Otamendi. I would seriously be considering taking out Otamendi. There is a chance Maccabi, there's a small chance Maccabi Haifa could score. I did have Otamendi the whole of last season, but it's up to you. You can decide to take out either Otamendi or Joao Mario, but I wouldn't go for 3 of their players. It's a very easy fixture, yes, but what about Matchday 2, Matchday 3? Isaac says De Bruyne or Vinicius. De Bruyne, I think both teams will score 3 goals in their games. De Bruyne or Vinicius. This depends. If you already have Benzema, De Bruyne, if you already have Haaland, Vinicius. If you already have both Haaland and Benzema, I would go for De Bruyne. Rate my team, says Aviv. Send in your team. I have 13 million for a striker and goalkeeper to replace Van and Vlachodimos. Who should I go for? You have 13 million for a striker. Let me see your team again. Reese, let me check Reese's team again. So you had you already have Haaland and Benzema. You're taking out Vanna and Vlachodimos. Goalkeeper, striker. I'd be tempted to go for Lewandowski. So you have 13 million. So 13 million is not enough. So that's a very tough question right now off the bat. I'll need to check a couple of things. I would go for the 4.5 million goalkeepers, either the Salzburg one or Kepa if you want. And then that you'll have how much remaining? 5, 5.5, 8.5 for a striker. You can consider Rafael Leao from AC Milan if you want to go for an AC Milan player. So Leao from AC Milan, I think that would be enough for you. Let me see AC Milan, striker, Leao, AC Milan. Where is AC Milan? How much is Leao? Just check again. Yeah, Leao is actually 8.5 million. So I think that would be enough. So I would go for Leao and probably the goalkeepers from Salzburg or Chelsea if you want. Hope that helps, Reese. I'd probably have a different answer if I sat down and thought about it. Rate my team, but you don't have too much time. Rate my team: Courtois, defender, Ronaldo, Cancelo, Hakimi, Otamendi, midfielders, Nkunku, Bernardo, Florentino, Haaland, Benzema, Lewandowski. I do like, no problem with the striking. I do like Florentino and Nkunku. And Major, you've gone for Major as well. Interesting. That is a player not too many people have, and he always starts for Club Brugge. Fernando. Which Fernando? The Fernando from Sevilla. Is it that Fernando? Nkunku, Bernardo, Florentino. I think it's the one, right? That's the one you've gone for. Bernardo, Haaland. I'd be tempted to take out Bernardo for Matchday 1. I would be happy to go with only Haaland from there. I would probably take out Bernardo for Bergwijn. So Bernardo for Bergwijn is the only change I'd make from that. Babaka, I think I need an Ajax player in my team, so I think you need him as well. Hi, Glenn. I tweeted you my final team. Please check. You've tweeted me your final team. Let me just, by the way, if you haven't followed me on Twitter, you can search on at Glenn Kitely. So just like the name of the channel, you can just search on it on Twitter. I've not created a Twitter page for everything football yet. Isaac says De Bruyne or Vinicius. I already answered that. Nash says rate my team: Kobel, James, Otamendi, Guerrero, Kunde, Grimaldo, Marion, Nkunku, Royce, Kvaratskhelia, Bergwijn, Rafinha. Wow, you've gone for Rafinha, Lewandowski. Those are only 2 strikers. Who's the 3rd striker in your team? You've gone for both Rafinha and Lewandowski. Good fixture. They can both obviously deliver. James is okay, Otamendi is okay, Guerrero, Kunde, and Grimaldo. I wouldn't go for both Grimaldo and Otamendi. I would not double up on their defense. I'd go for one Benfica defender, especially that you already have Mario in midfield as well. And Nkunku, Royce, I do like Kvaratskhelia, Bergwijn. Yeah, I would change one of the Benfica players. So in terms of rating, I would say 8.5 out of 10, Nesh. I think I'm going with Vlaco, Grabic, Mendes, Otamendi, Chilwell, Rensch, and Ronaldo, Nkunku, Badvine, Vinicius, Kvaratskhelia, Okafor, Haaland, Lewandowski, and how many players are those? Goalkeepers, fine. Mendes, it's okay. Chilwell is okay. Ronaldo is okay. Otamendi, same. Nkunku, Badvine, Vinicius, Kvaratskhelia, Okafor. How much is Okafor right now? I remember last season I really liked him because he was cheap last season. Leipzig, Okafor. How much is Okafor this season? Am I in the right team? It's Salzburg, right? Okafor. Let me just search his name. Salzburg against AC Milan, 7.5. I know last season he was a midfielder last season, but he was playing as a forward. This season is a midfielder as well. I think 7.5 million is a lot of money. I don't think those first two fixtures are easy. So for midfielder 7.5, I think there are better options. Arnold, better options like Royce. I would go for Royce instead of Okafor. V says Perrin and Grabic as the goalkeepers. Guerrero, Cancelo, Otamendi, Kunde, Ronaldo, Nkunku, Vinicius, Florentino, Kvaratskhelia, Fabinho on the bench, Neymar, Haaland, Lewandowski. Good team. Should I bring in Ajax players? You should definitely bring in Ajax players. Who would I bring in? Midfield. Striking is okay. I mean, I would. So you don't have Benzema. I can see why you've gone for Vinicius. But I'd really consider Bergwijn or Brobbey the striker. I don't think I'd advise taking out any of the strikers. I'd really be considering bringing in Bergwijn in striking, man. I'd really be considering. If you don't have any Ajax players at all, you can even go for a goalkeeper or something. I wouldn't go without any Ajax players at all. I would go for Bergwijn personally. Let me know if you decide to go with any of the midfielders from there. Bergwijn mostly. Ahmed says 5 to 6 million midfield, except Joao Mario. Kvaratskhelia from Napoli is a good option. We keep on mentioning him, but he is the top scorer in Serie A. He was the top scorer. I didn't check the last week who scored a couple of goals. I know he scored against Lazio, so I would go for him. So those are probably the best options from those teams. I can't really say any other options are great at that price. Jorginho would have been, but he's not playing. Who would you say is the best midfielder for 6 million or less, except for Florentino? Again, Kvaratskhelia, a very simple answer, because this guy is 5.5 million and is rated as a midfielder. He's down as a midfielder, but he is the top scorer in Serie A. That is crazy. Like he's very good. Or you can go for Jota from Celtic. He's a very good option at 6 million as well. Will Chelsea keep a clean sheet against Dinamo Zagreb? According to my predictions, I've gone for 2-1 Chelsea, so no. They're not that great at defense, Chelsea. They conceded 2 goals against Tottenham. They conceded 3 goals against Leeds. They conceded 1 goal against West Ham. Should have been 2 if the second goal wasn't disallowed. So Chelsea are not that great in defense as well. But Fofana is now playing regularly with Chilwell is back. Koulibaly is there. Let's see if they improve. James Azpilicueta. I think they'll still concede though. So Chelsea is basically for attacking returns from the likes of James and Chilwell. Neymar, Benzema says Tilak, Benzema. Adi says Courtois, Cancelo, Emerson, Tavares, Otamendi, Ronaldo, Rom, Florentino, Vinicius, and Nkunku, Haaland, Neymar, Benzema. I don't have problem with the striking. I would bring in Bergwijn for Vinicius, at least for match day 1. For match day 2, I'll also consider going for both Vinicius and Benzema. But I think it's more fun also spreading out your players, like spreading out your options in your team, like a couple of Real Madrid players, a couple of Ajax players, maybe 1 Benfica player, 1 Chelsea player. It also makes it interesting to watch the game and everything. Kepa or Grabic, most nailed Real defender other than Courtois, probably Militao. The others, Rudy Gala, but you never know. I usually love Carvajal. The previous seasons, I do like Carvajal as an option, even Mendy at left back. But I'd say Militao. Aviv says Courtois, Kunde, Cancelo, Mendes, Otamendi, and Florentino, Modric, Nkunku, Neymar, Lewandowski, Leao, Grabic, Diaz, Kvaratskhelia, Kvaradona. That's interesting. You've called him Kvaradona. Why did you call him this? Is that because of Maradona and Napoli connection and everything? Do people actually call him that? That's interesting. Ronaldo. So defensively, you have Kunde, Cancelo, Mendes, Otamendi, and Ronaldo. No problem with that. Midfield, you have Modric, Florentino, Nkunku. I would take out Modric for Bergwijn. That's what I would do. That's the only change I would make. Nesh says Royce, Brandt, or Thorgan Hazard. Who's more likely to give a double-digit return? Who's more likely to give a double-digit return? Royce. But Thorgan Hazard is cheap, especially if you're trying to look for money for elsewhere, strikers or defenders. Then you can go for Thorgan Hazard for one match day. He's a risk for the later match days. I don't think I'll have Royce for match day 2 anyway because they're traveling to Man City. So Royce is just for one match day. And I think Brandt plays a bit deeper in midfield. Thoughts on Ram and Lloris? I think they're a bit too expensive because I don't think, let me see. Goalkeepers, Leipzig against Shakhtar, 5 million. Yeah, I do not like them as 5 million goalkeepers at all. I'd go for cheaper goalkeepers. Lloris is 5.5 million. Absolutely not. I'd not waste my money there at all. Literally, I'd not go there at all. Noah says, thoughts on Aubameyang? I mean, we can't have any thoughts. He's never played for Chelsea. This is his first game. Can he score? Obviously, he can't score, but in terms of 9 million, I think there are better options from Chelsea. I actually think Sterling is a better option than Aubameyang. Aubameyang is the striker that Chelsea needed. As an Arsenal fan, we had Aubameyang. I know Aubameyang can be very, very good in match day 1, especially. Not in match day 1, sorry, in the first season for a team, basically. But I think it's too early. I'd wait to see how he plays today. First, he might get subbed off. You never know. He's not recovered 100%. Is Salah a good option? Says Saif. This season is actually a differential. Not many people have him. So if you're feeling brave, you can go for him. I think there are better options. I would actually go for Diaz. We'll go for Kepa just for this week because if I go for... we'll go for Kepa if I go for Leah and he scores. I mean, if you're feeling brave and you have plans for the next match day, if you're thinking of taking him out for the next match day, you can go for it. Do you think Kunde is a good for the price 5 million? Yes. I saw he gave 2 assists in the last game. So he's not only going to be there for a defensive option. Pete says Ter Stegen, Ronaldo, Koulibaly, Van Dijk, Cancelo, Royce, De Bruyne, Florentino, Lewandowski, Haaland, Benzema. You've gone for both Haaland and De Bruyne. Interesting. Koulibaly, Ronaldo, Van Dijk. For match day 1, I wouldn't go for Van Dijk. I'd probably go for a defender from Benfica or Dortmund. I wouldn't go for Koulibaly. Not for Koulibaly, for Van Dijk. I wouldn't go for Van Dijk. Sorry, I would go for Koulibaly. I wouldn't go for Van Dijk in match day 1. And even if you have money to improve from Koulibaly, I'd go for Chilwell or James. Aubameyang as an option, says Vic. I think a bit too expensive. I think they're better strikers. Kunde, Orange, Kunde, Vlaco, Garbage, Kunde, Chilwell, Mendes, Guerrero, Bassi, Royce, Kweshede, Kunkumai. I really like that midfield, Nuno. Forward line is okay as well. You've gone for Bassi, Guerrero, Mendes, Chilwell, Kunde. You already have Benzema. You have 9 out of 10. Yep, 9 out of 10. No, I give that team 9 out of 10. Maya, Hernandez, Militao. I love that Hernandez speak. Otamendi, Grimaldo, Sandro, Tonali, Sandro. That's the Sandro from Juventus, right? Nkunku, Vinicius, Joao Mario, Lewandowski, Benzema, bench, Ter Stegen, Kvaratskhelia, and Jatla. Which team is it? How much is he? So he's Club Brugge against Leverkusen. He's a forward. Wow. No wonder I've not even heard of him because I've not done research on him. So you've gone for a really cheap forward. I wouldn't go for the last guy you have there, Mustafa. I'd go for Brobbey from Ajax instead. He's also the same price. Arturo says Bellingham or Royce. Royce is playing further forward. Is Ederson and Kepa good? Ederson, yes. I'd change Kepa for a different goalkeeper for today. Vic says Cancelo or James. I do like Ederson, though he's always going to play. Cancelo, James, Cancelo. Ter Stegen, I already rated the team. Pete, why of other 4 million goalkeepers such as Kepa, because Con is going to play and Kepa we didn't even know is going to play, and he could play for match day 1 and not match day 2. And later on, unless I play my wild card, I don't want to be changing my goalkeepers. I feel like I'll need to change Royce, probably need to bring in Lewandowski if he starts scoring. Vinicius for captain, says Mustafa, go for it. Because if you have, especially if you have the likes of Lewandowski tomorrow, in case he doesn't score, you can change it. Best 5 million defender, says Nesh. Kunde from Barcelona is great. Probably the best because we know he's going to start. If you want a Chelsea defender, Koulibaly, and I think those are the best in terms of 5 million. So I have gone for Kunde myself. So you can go for him. I think Barcelona have a good fixture. Can you take away the text so I can see a team? Oh, sorry. It was blocking. I can put it here now. Hope that is better. I have 10 minutes to change my team, so let me quickly get through these comments. Done there. Haaland, captain is the way to go, right? Yep, you can go for him. Who would you get in for Royce? Like from your team. Let me see. From your team. Let me see. Where is your team again? There's so many comments, guys. I appreciate it. If you have Vinicius, I would take out Vinicius for Royce for match day 1. I can't see a team high, man. Let me know which midfielders you have. Sorry. There's so many comments, really. Sorry. Courtois, Kunde, Cancelo, Mendes, Otamendi, Florentino. Great. Defense, Modric, Nkunku, Neymar, Lewandowski, Leao, Grabic, Luis Diaz. So I don't know if you didn't rate my team attack. Should I change it or attack? You wanted me to rate your attack. Your attack, you have Leao, Lewandowski, Neymar. I'd seriously get Benzema. Seriously would get Benzema. I'd find a way to get in Benzema instead of Leao and change Modric to a cheaper midfielder. That is what I would do. Who would you get in for Royce next match? Oh, that is the question. I'd get in probably a Man City midfielder, someone like a Foden or something, or a Liverpool midfielder like Luis Diaz. Power says Courtois, Vlachodimos. Your comment got cut out. Grimaldo, Ronaldo, Nuno Mendes, Koulibaly, Militao. Not a bad defense, but again, 2 Benfica defenders I'm not a fan of. Better option in midfield, avoiding Nkunku, Bergwijn. Chilwell, good option, yes. Maya, Grabic, probably Maya because he's starting. Better 9 million midfield, avoiding Nkunku. Luis Diaz, I think he will still score against Napoli if Liverpool score in that game. So that is the one I would go for. Or Royce is slightly cheaper. Militao, Chilwell. Nuno says Courtois, Grabic, Tavares. I've already talked about this team, right? Let me see. Wildcard, match week 3, limitless, match week 6. That is what I'm planning to do as well. So I do like that team, especially the midfield. I do really like that midfield. I'm a fan of that midfield. Zvashelia, Bergwijn, Nkunku. Go for it, Nuno. I'm happy with that team. Noah says Vlachodimos, Grabic, Nuno Tavares, Otamendi, Militao, Kimi, James. Torres is starting. Noah is sure that Torres is starting. Bergwijn, Nkunku, Royce, Florentino, Lewandowski, Benzema, and Van. I wouldn't go for both Van and Nkunku. I would try and get in someone else for Van. You can even go for Leao from AC Milan or go for probably him because you don't have any AC Milan cover. Best 4.5 million midfielder, Florentino, Benfica, Courtois and Kunde, or Chilwell and Ter Stegen. Courtois and Kunde, Hakimi to Nuno Mendes. If you're looking for that 1 million for elsewhere, go for it. But for me, I've gone for Hakimi. Game's about to begin in like 8 minutes. Yep. Yes, Bianco. So what I'll always do, if you haven't joined the league, make sure to join it. There is the code on screen because I will be doing reviews of your teams every single week after the match week has ended. So tomorrow night, I will be live talking about doing a reaction for the stream. So for the next 6 minutes, allow me to sort out my team. I'm really happy with the midfield, but I'm thinking about getting in a Chelsea defender. How much is Ter Stegen as a goalkeeper? Let me check. Barcelona goalkeeper, Ter Stegen, 5.5 million. Man, a bit expensive, man, a bit expensive. I really do think Cancelo is a must-own, but I am really considering bringing in a Chelsea defender for Cancelo. just for one match day. But I think I'm crazy if I do that. I might just go without any Chelsea players. Or you know what I can do? I can just go back to what I said about which one you'll be watching, says Bianco, both of them, Bianco. Mostly, let me just check. Probably I'll be watching Dortmund's game. I'm interested in that one. But I'll be watching both. I'll just have two screens on, but mostly Dortmund because I have a Dortmund attacker in my team. You know what I'm thinking of doing? I'm thinking about going with the guys who talked about Kepa for one match day. I'm thinking about going with him and removing Salzburg goalkeeper because I feel like if Chelsea defenders are highly owned and they keep a clean sheet, I'll be in trouble. But Dinamo Zagreb, they could easily score in that game because Chelsea have not been good at all in that in the Premier League at all. So I might just decide to stick with this team, guys. I might just decide to stick with this team. Dortmund goalkeeper. Let me check Dortmund goalkeeper since I don't have their defender. Dortmund goalkeeper. How much is the Dortmund goalkeeper? 4 million. He's starting. Yeah, I'm going to make that change. That is the change I'm going to make. I'm going to take out the Salzburg goalkeeper and I'm going to bring in my Dortmund goalkeeper. I think that is the first change I'm making. I have 0.5 in the bank. Can I use it elsewhere? Kunde, I'm going to keep. Florentino, I'm going to keep. Bergwijn, going to keep. Chelsea, do you guys think I should go for a Chelsea player? I put a poll on YouTube. Let me see what you guys said about the poll on the poll, sorry. Lewandowski. You see. So you needed me to rate your team power. Nuno Mendes, Ronaldo, Militao, Koulibaly, Grimaldo. Just that. I wouldn't have two Benfica defenders. I would go for Chilwell, and he's a very good attacking threat, says Bianco. For who, though? I don't want to take out Hakimi and Cancelo. So it's either I take out Kunde for Chilwell and go without any Barcelona players at all. Is that possible? It's not possible, man. It's definitely not possible to go for... if you want to go for... If you want to, you can go Kunde to Chilwell. Barcelona. Am I ready to go without any Barcelona pairs against Pilsen? I'm going to do that. Do you know why? Because of the fixtures. I think Barcelona's fixtures get harder from here. And Chilwell, Chelsea's fixtures, they have Salzburg next. So I have actually listened to you. I've listened to you. Hi, I've gone for it. 4 minutes left, says Bianco Rush. So Bianco and Hi, I have gone for you guys. We are here to help each other. I'm going to do that. But if he doesn't keep a clean sheet, I'm going to come back to you guys. Bianco and Hi, I have marked you. So Kunde out, Chilwell in. Boom, right? Amazing. So those are my two subs. Kunde out, Chilwell in, Con out, Maya in. Done. The two transfers have been made. Starting lineup. So I have Chilwell, Maya, and Royce. I think the team is set. Tomorrow I have 4 players. Great. That's my final team. In goal, Adan and Maya. Defense of Chilwell, Cancelo, Hakimi, tomorrow, Tavares, and Meja. Bergwijn, Royce, Nkunku, Florentina, and Kvaratskhelia. And then up front, Haaland, Neymar, Benzema. By the way, for the 68 of you who are watching, would you like me to start doing watch-alongs? I will be doing fantasy-related watch-alongs. I will try to start tomorrow where we're just going to be watching games, not like the usual watch-alongs, no. From tomorrow, Ray, like I will be doing like Champions League watch-alongs. Like we're just focusing on the Champions League assets that we have and just focus on those guys. So from tomorrow, today I can't do the Chelsea game because I have a couple of Chelsea fans in the house and we kind of watch it together. So wouldn't do a watch-along for that. So 73% have said, of course, they have Lewandowski in their team. It's time to pray. It's time to pray that Lewandowski doesn't score. I'm not going for him, but Benzema is my captain. I'm not going to change it. I will start doing watch-alongs from tomorrow, guys. Gabriel says yes. Ray says yes. We would end up in Glenn's Fantasy Timeout League if Chelsea don't keep a clean sheet. I don't have to keep a clean sheet. At least he can get an attacking return. If he gets 5+ points, I'll let you out, Bianca. I'll let you off for that one. But that is my final team. As I said, from tomorrow, I might start doing Champions League. Or it's not might. I will start doing Champions League fantasy. I will check which game I can check right now. I've not decided which game Matchday 1. Tomorrow we have Ajax Rangers. Yeah, I think I'm going to do Ajax Rangers tomorrow. So you guys make sure to tune in tomorrow. I think a lot of people have Ajax players. I've seen someone with Gotze from Frankfurt. So we'll be doing, especially the early games, I will do Ajax Rangers watch along tomorrow. So see you for that, guys. Really appreciate you watching. In case you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. And let's hope the guys deliver. If you want to make subs for tomorrow, you can comment on this particular video and let's see how it goes. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you very, very soon.